Top five, top five. What is up, home slices? Welcome back to the Sub Media Reviews platform, the top five series where we go over our top five favorite things related to something in media. I'm your host, Kiara, and today we're doing a top five all about our top five TV moms. Now, if you've been around, you know that season 2 of our podcast wrapped back in April, and the off season has been wonderful for me. I have been resting. I went on a spa vacation, but I told you all I wouldn't just leave you with nothing. So I have been sprinkling in a little bit of content to hold us over until we restart season 3 in October. So today is kind of one of those moments. So I have a bunch of people here that are joining me for this discussion, and I'm really excited to get into it. Now, this is kind of going to be a part of a 2-part series. So this month, in honor of Mother's Day, we're doing top 5 TV moms. Next month, for Father's Day, we're going to come back with top 5 TV dads. So stay tuned for that. So before we get into the moms, let's go ahead and introduce our guest. Now, first up, y'all may know him from his appearances on some of my podcast reviews or his YouTube channel, Calvin the Collector. But I know him as my husband. Say hello to Calvin.
Hey everybody, and thanks for having me, hon.
Of course. Tell him a little bit about your channel.
So I used to collect Pokemon cards as a kid, and so I kind of started recollecting again. And so the channel just goes over me opening packs, telling people, some of the chase cards we're looking for, and some cards that I actually do well as investments in the future.
All right, cool beans. Y'all go ahead and go over and check it out. Now, next up, if you caught our recent Tales from the Hood episode, you know this guy who joined me to review that movie. He is back. He's got his own channel. Y'all go over and check out A Conversation with John. But welcome, John. Say hi, John.
Hello. How's everybody doing? Yeah, I'm John. What was I supposed to be saying?
About your channel.
And that pretty much describes my channel. It's just randomness. On my channel, I just talk about random things that pique my my interest. So yeah, it's A Conversation with John 9869 on YouTube. Check it out. Yeah, it's just a random collection of things that pique my interest or random things that happen in my life because there's always a story to be told.
Yes, for sure. All right, cool. And last but absolutely not least, we have a first time channel guest and a college friend from way back in the day, Kaitlyn. Kaitlyn, welcome to the show. Say hi.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm glad I'm available for this. This is fun.
Yeah, this is going to be great. We all met in college back at LSU in the good old days. So it's been a moment since we've had a chance to all chat. So I think this is going to be fun. Okay, typically before we get into our picks and whatnot, I like to start with an icebreaker to kind of get us in the mood to talk about the topic. So today's icebreaker question is, what is the best mom song? I'm going to leave that open a little bit because it could be a song literally about a mom, or it could just be a song that reminds you of your own mom, or a song you think captures the feeling of a mom, whatever resonates. So I will let y'all go first. Calvin, what do you think is the best mom song?
So for me, when I was in high school, my senior year, I did a botillion, and we actually had to perform a song dedicated to our moms. It was from Boys to Men, Mama. So that song really resonates with me, and I think that's just like an iconic classic, especially Black people mom song.
I think that's great. That's from the Soul Food soundtrack, you know, song made for Big Mama, Boys to Men. I think that's a good
Hmm.
pick. Okay, all right, John, what about you?
Basically the same thing. I mean, that's the only song that I could think of, and as he said, it's an iconic song in the black community. So, a song for Mama by Boys to Men. That was my pick.
Okay.
Great minds.
They do think alike, and honestly, I couldn't think of any other song, and that's a song that I posted on my socials for my mom for our Mother's Day picture. So yeah, that was the only one that I can think of. I can't think of another. Unless you, I mean, we'll see what y'all have. Unless we all came up with the same thing, but that's the only song I can think of. The only positive song, at least. Yeah.
Okay, Caitlin, what about you?
Well, I did think about that song, but I felt like everybody was gonna pick it. But the song that's been like in my brain, I don't know, the last couple hours was what's that song? I Hope You Dance.
Okay.
Have you ever heard that?
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
that would definitely
Quintessential
be like a
white
good,
people wedding song.
Yeah. But
Oh,
it's very much so gives a mom talking to her child, trying to encourage them through life
To
That's
live their best
definitely-
life.
To live their best life, yeah.
I think
I
that's
like that.
a great pick. I think that's a great pick. I definitely
never thought
thought
of
of A Song for Mama by Boyz II Men, of course, but it's too sweet. It's like too saccharine for me, like a little bit. I actually am not. That's like one of my least favorite Boyz II Men songs. And not because of the subject matter. It's just loving you's like food to my soul. It's like, okay,
I mean,
now
well, they did make it for the movie.
I mean,
so.
does it matter the Big Mama in that movie?
that's true. Big Mama, your arm. So, but
Man.
so I decided to go with a grittier song for mom, which is "Dear Mama" by Tupac.
Oh, real?
Okay.
I appreciate Dear Mama. Not only is it like it has these sweet moments of him recognizing her for like all the good she's done, but also this acknowledgement of like, yeah, you were also drug addicted. And
Yeah, it is.
you weren't always the best. You weren't always the best mom, but I still love and honor you for the things that you can do. It feels more realistic than, loving you's like cornbread and yams. This one is like you made miracles every Thanksgiving, and even though you was smoking that stuff, you still a black queen. It's just to me it shows a bigger picture of the good and the bad, and of course we love Tupac, so that's my pick.
I'm not gonna say that, but yeah. I don't know that man or anything about that man, but yeah.
Okay, all right, y'all.
That's
Well,
a different outtake. I respect it.
I like it.
I've just never really gotten into that old hip hop. I grew up on 90s R&B and all of that kind of thing. So like the Tupac, the Biggie and all of that, I don't really.
you were
my dad-
alive,
my
but you were
dad-
small.
My dad was a huge fan, so we had all them CDs.
It's
It
the
was
same way
Tupacalypse
that
now.
I've not seen a lot of typical black people movies that everybody's seen. I just watched New Jack City for the first time 2 weeks ago. So it's stuff like that. It's just like my parents didn't let us listen to or watch lots of things, and as I got older, I just didn't care. So it's one of those things.
I feel that about certain stuff too. Like some of the first time I watched Love Jones was to review it for the podcast
And
a
I've
couple
never
of years
seen
ago.
that either.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no.
Some things just slip through the cracks.
I just told you I watched New Jack City for the first time.
Oh my!
I've never
Well, you
seen
need
Love
to
Jones.
add that into your rotation. That and Brown Sugar.
I watched Brown Sugar like a month ago too for the first time. So yeah, it's a slow process. When I see something, I'm like, oh, I need to watch this for my blackness, and I'll watch it. I
Dead
tried to
presidents.
I think I've seen bits and pieces of that. I tried to watch Training Day a few days ago, but I just couldn't get into it. I fell asleep, and I came back to watch it again.
Now, I will say on that topic, I did just see Juice like maybe last year. So,
Okay.
but
just-
that was good.
Some of them
I've
just
never
slip
seen
through the
that.
cracks. Yeah.
But on the subject of moms, if you haven't seen the new indie movie Is God Is, I would encourage y'all to go see that. It's very much so about two girls and their relationship with their mom. Starring Sterling K. Brown. Also has Janelle Monáe and Vivica Fox. So
Is it streaming?
it is streaming right now. It's in theaters.
Okay.
It's an interesting watch.
I heard it's a revenge story, so love a good. Love a good revenge story. Okay, cool. All right, y'all. Well, let's move on to talk about our criteria. So typically before we dive into providing our list, we go ahead and talk a little bit about why we actually chose, or the criteria we were thinking of as we were choosing our top 5. And I always think it's really interesting to see if we have different versions of criteria or how we were thinking about it. I think it kind of shows more about who you are and your taste when we talk about these things. So I'll go ahead and share mine first. For me, it kind of came down to 2 things. One, would I feel proud if this was my mom? Like, how would I like to have this character as my mom? And 2, did I see something in her that actually reminded me of my own mom and my own experience? So those are the two things I was looking for. All right, Calvin, what about you? What were your criteria?
Mine was, there's like that it factor with your mom, like that je ne sais quoi. So it's a little bit of a intangible, but it's kind of like that. Oh yeah, that's a good mom if you see it. So that one is a little less objective and more subjective. But another one is like that mama bear mode, like just hey, these are my kids, this is my family. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna make sure that we all got what we need, and they're willing to make sacrifices to make sure that their family is in a good spot. So those would be kind of my bigger, I would say, items I'm looking for in a good TV mom.
Okay. All right, nice. Okay, John, what about you? What were your criteria?
Mine was more so on the lines of how much I actually like the show, in combination to like iconic lines that they delivered, like the iconic lines that they delivered or quotes that they had that I thought were funny or just memorable about the show.
Okay. All right, cool. And Kaitlyn, what about you?
So I guess I thought about it like number 1, they needed to be a black mom. No other moms count around here.
Come on, Issa Rae.
Okay. Number 2, I wanted the mom to be relatable to the black person experience. And then the third one was like, oh, that's the kind of mom I would want to be if I were a mom. Like, her
good.
line of thinking matches my own. I also wanted them to have like a self-identity, a set like independence, and also just, they're still nurturing enough even in like, even if they're in a marriage versus if they're not, either or. So those are kind of what I thought about.
All right, nice. It sounds like we all kind of got a little bit of different criteria. So I think it'll be interesting to see if there's any overlap between us, which I'm 100% sure there will be. All right, well, y'all, let's go ahead and get into the countdown, okay? Did any of you rank your list? My list is not ranked.
I did not.
No.
A little, but not really. I think the bottom 2 are ranked 5 and 4. The rest are just kind of not pickable.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So for the most part, they're in not any particular order. Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into our number 5 picks. Kaitlyn, who is the number 5 TV mom for you?
Sure. So I tried to pick over several mediums of TV shows. So at number 5, I have Trudy Proud.
Nice.
Trudy!
I like that actually.
I have Trudy. Trudy holds it down between having to. I mean, if I thought about me being in Trudy's place with Oscar Mama in the house, them 2 screaming twins, Penny acting up every 5 minutes because she want to be grown, and Oscar just doing whatever he does on a whim about his snacks. Yeah. And she's a veterinarian and stuff in her own right, and she owns her own business. So yeah, it's true. And she still manages to hold that family together when everything is just going left. So yes, Trudy Proud.
Because it's the veterinarian money that's holding them down while Oscar is putting
Figures
together
out
Proud
these
Snacks.
snacks. Exactly.
I never realized she had a job.
She did.
She's a vet.
I guess I wasn't paying attention. I did not know that. Okay. You learned something new today. Go ahead, Trudy Proud.
And Trudy is voiced by Paula
John White.
Parker. Is it Parker or White?
Parker. I do the same thing, and I other people. I don't know why I want her to be White. Parker.
Yes, and of course you're talking about the Proud family. Yeah, but I think that's very interesting because I think Uncle Bobby would have took me over the edge. But
exactly, I'm like, girl, I would have been trying to leave this house.
Yes, but yeah, Trudy held it down. All right, cool. Any other thoughts before we move on? No. Okay, cool. All right, I'll go next. My number 5 is Rochelle Rock from Everybody Hates Chris, played by Tashina Arnold. Now, the reason why Rochelle makes my list is I think she feels the most real of all the Black TV moms to like my experience. Because she was based on an actual person, Chris Rock's actual mom. I think that really contributes to how relatable the experience is. She had very specific Black mom phrases. I'll slap you in the next Tuesday. And then actually seeing the calendar move forward on the TV show. I'll slap the black off you, and then him turning into a little white kid. Like, it's silly. And I love that she knew how to make a dollar out of 15 cents, how she worked hard for her family. She was soft with them when she needed to be. She was hard on them when she needed to be. And I love that she had this attitude of, I don't need this. My husband has 3 jobs. Like, I love her whole attitude. And she wasn't playing. And I just felt like I saw my Black child experience reflected more accurately in that show than I think any other show. But yeah, she was always there for her kids. And I love Tashina Arnold. Like, we love her. And I love her authenticity.
I do like that. I definitely appreciate her stance of her man has 2 or 3 jobs, especially now that I'm older. I'm like, girl, yes. don't take on that workload if you don't have to. Yes, ma'am. Take a break. Like, I understand that completely. So yeah, I can understand why you picked her.
Yeah. Any thoughts, John or Calvin?
I mean, basically, yeah, she was one of my higher numbers, so I'll reserve my complete thoughts for later.
Okay.
But yeah, she definitely made my list for some of the same reasons that you said.
Yeah, I think she definitely embodies the Black household for sure. So that's a good pick.
All right, cool.
I will say, though, my one nitpick with Rochelle Rock is that I kind of wish she had a little bit of something that was more so her own, that she really put a lot of energy into besides her family. I wish she had a little bit. I'm like, I wish she had a little bit more of a, I don't know, like a self-identifying hobby or something that really just let her shine on her own.
She did when she was making her hats for the hat day at church. That was her thing. She always won the hat competition.
I do not remember this, but if she did, that's my only criticism about her as a character. I
That
do
was
not.
I think that's
also
a good point.
when what Dee from, I don't know her real name, from
For Moesha.
no, from Marlon and Sean, Wayne's brother and
Oh,
sister.
D, yeah,
They
yeah,
played,
yeah.
yeah, she
Okay.
played the woman she was competing against in the hat competition. Miss
Oh,
Hattie or
Anna
something.
Maria
I don't remember her name.
Hornsford, I think is her name. And Anna Maria
Oh, you have a
Hornsford.
good. Oh, that's her real name. I thought that
Yes.
was the name from the show. I was like, oh, you got
Oh
a good
God, no.
memory.
No, no. But
But you're right. She didn't.
she did not have a lasting element of her life that stood apart from her caring for her family, which actually happens to a lot of moms. So that actually is quite realistic as well. Yeah. Okay. All right, Calvin, let us know your number 5 pick.
So my number 5 pick is kind of iconic. I got Florida Evans
All
from Good
right.
Times. This is a TV mom I kind of grew up watching as kids. So she really was like the glue to her family. She was like the voice of reason, kind of helped keep everything stable. And she really just was like the iconic black mom you would see. Especially now, that one may not have been as realistic as what we grew up as, but it felt familiar as far as like a good TV mom that you can come home and sit down and watch.
Yeah, I
Yeah, she
agree.
definitely gave Big Mama vibes for
Yeah.
sure.
Yes. Yes.
Definitely.
Like burgeoning Big Mama. When we think Big Mama, we think grandma. Like at least I do.
Hmm.
But Florida Aunt Evans was like Big Mama in the making. Like when these are
Yeah.
her own children. Yeah. But Good Times, super iconic in the black community. And Florida Evans, down, down,
Yeah, I definitely,
That's part of the reason it made my
yeah,
list.
I definitely think she was a great mom for her era.
I
Yeah,
think that's
definitely
a good
for
way
her.
to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, for her era, because if she came out like this in 2026, absolutely not. Absolutely not, Florida. I would have to flip the channel on her because no, thank you. I don't want none of that in 2026. But yes, for 1960s, 70s in the projects and wherever they were living, it was in New York, was it, or in Chicago? I don't remember. I
I
don't
actually
remember. But
don't
either
know where they
way,
were.
I don't either.
um, either way, yeah, she definitely did what she had to do for that time period. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, we love a mom that can stretch a dollar. Okay. All right. Any other thoughts before we move on? Nah. Okay. John, let us know your number 5.
So my number 5 was Annie from Good Girls, and I picked that because she was such a train wreck. She tried her best, but she was a train wreck. It was, I think she was it a daughter or son, I can't remember. It was a little girl, a little boy that she had with her ex-husband or whatever. But the kid was more of a parent than she was. But by the end of the show, she kind of got it together. Hers is more of a redemption story, I guess. In the beginning, she was a train wreck, and she did the best that she can do, but she struggled through and through to be a mom. But in the end, she overcame. Well, I guess when you start robbing, stealing money, and you have finances, then you can become a better parent. So
So,
in the end, things worked out. But in the beginning, she struggled real hard, and she was a kid herself. So yeah.
so tell us a little more about Annie. I am not that familiar with Good Girls. My understanding is that her and some friends rob a store, and they end up getting
They
involved in
robbed a
like
whole
They
a.
bunch
robbed
of
a lot of
stuff.
things. They
A
robbed
lot
a
of
lot of
things.
things.
It was her, Ruby, and Annie's
See,
sister. I forget the
Ruby was
mastermind of
my
the whole
girl.
thing. Yeah, I forgot about her in the beginning when she burnt that boy with the coffee pot. But I think Annie because she was a train wreck. But yeah, they started off like taking money from like big chain stores that would buy a bunch of stuff and then return it to get the money, and then they start getting caught up with the laundering money for the mob, not the mob, some Mexican, the cartel or something like that. I don't even remember how they got roped into all of this, but they ended up having like a printing. The front in the beginning was the mastermind, Annie's sister. She owned a like a what is it, like a paper shop where they did like custom prints and stuff like
And
that. And so that's
stationery
how they
or
ended up start. Yeah, stationery. Thank you. They started printing like currency that way, and then just kind of snowballed from there. Again, I don't remember how they even got roped into this whole thing, but yeah, Annie was a train wreck in the beginning. She was struggling very hard to be a parent. She was more of a kid than a parent, and her daughter or son, because I don't remember which one she had, kind of had to help her become an adult. Um, so yeah, it's a really good show. I think it's like 4 seasons. I don't think I liked the way that it ended. I can't really remember, but it was a good show nonetheless.
okay. I'm looking up who played Annie. It's played by Mae Whitman, who y'all may know as the voice of Katara from Avatar, the
Hey,
last
No, I
Airbender.
didn't know that.
Yeah, she does the voice of Katara and has been acting for a long time. She was like in Independence Day as the president's daughter. Like she'd been acting for a long time. She'd
Oh, that
been
kind of makes
around
my
the
memory jog a bit.
round the way. So yeah. All right, cool. Well, let's move on to our number 4 picks. John, you go first.
Okay, so I think that my number 4 is probably gonna go to Florida Evans. It was part of the whole, like I said, the quotabilities. I think the most memorable thing from that is when James died. The damn. I always remember that. And the song from Good Times is an iconic song.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard people say Florida was the reason why they couldn't get out the hood. She wouldn't let them do nothing. Girl, when JJ got that money from he got some money
Oh,
from doing
man.
something, and she was like, "No, you can't keep the money." I think they found some money or something, and she was like, "No, you can't keep the money." So yeah, Florida was the reason why they was poor. Um, and
okay.
what else? And I think that yeah, somebody I was watching on Instagram and someone was talking about that. And she ended up leaving them and getting remarried and left them kids in the hood while she was off living her life. So yeah, Florida made my number 4. And the whole, like you said, the big mama of it all. The other movie Esther Roll was in that always reminds me of that was Rosewood, and she played the same kind of character. She just plays older than her character is supposed to be. So yeah,
Yeah. Oh
shout out to
God,
Esther
I
Roll.
can't stand you. That's so funny. And honestly, that's really one of the reasons why I do not like her character. Like I don't. She is very much so scared money don't make money. Like yes, I agree. You should have been trying to push your kids to get up out of these projects instead of trying to maintain this broke ass status quo.
Yep.
Like, and it's just, and it's just like the money thing. Like, girl, you need this. You need
I think it was
this.
Dave was trying to go work out of state or something, and she was like, "No, I need you to be home with the family." Girl, y'all is poor. He could have made a bunch of money and got them out the ghetto. Let James go.
Right. Let
And you
James
didn't kill
go.
me. Florida, you broke y'all's one piece of good china. I understand James was dead, but did you have to break that glass bowl? That was a one piece of good thing y'all, man.
Man, like,
That is so interesting. Like a really interesting perspective that I hadn't even really thought of. But what I will say, not to get too hotep on y'all, I've been watching a lot of FD Signifier and thinking about what it actually required to get a black show on television back then. Like you can't have a bunch of black characters actively trying to get out of the projects.
I understand that. Definitely understand that.
And so Florida, while she may have held her family back, it's probably more like white execs being like, we can't have these Negroes thinking they deserve better. You know.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why a lot of mine are like more modern moms because we moving forward, not backwards. parts.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
moving on
And
now.
from stuff that I've seen, I think that Esther Rolle did fight to have James in the show because I think she was more famous than him, whatever at the time. And I remember seeing something that somebody was saying that she fought to have a man in the household because basically what she said,
Mm.
like black people have to be seen as downtrodden and everything that the
Single
intro song says.
single
So yeah,
families. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then James died, and Florida birthday, one piece of good china, and then that was the end of it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good old Florida Evans. All right.
Oh,
All right,
Florida.
John. All right. Caitlin, what is your number 4 pick?
I kind of struggled to see who I was gonna put in this spot. But ultimately, the most iconic mom of Black TV is Claire Huxtable. So she definitely makes my number 4. And only because Claire can literally still be a good, relatable mom today. I feel like if they would remake that show today, she would be just as relevant as, if not more relevant, in her role as Claire. I mean, Claire's a lawyer. She lives in, what do they live in? Like the upper parts of Brooklyn, I believe. You know, they live in a brownstone. She has 5 kids. Her husband's successful, and he listens to her and understands her opinions and gives her that room to decide what she thinks they should do. So yeah, Claire is gonna forever be a role model as a mom and a professional and an independent person to me.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Quintessential
that's a great
TV
pick.
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Of course. I won't say much because she is also on my list. So,
Right.
yeah. But yeah, great pick. Okay. Well, I am going to talk about my number 4 pick. My number 4 pick is Lisa Leandri from Sister Sister, played by
Oh,
Jackie Harry. So Jack A is very. Do y'all think Jack A is Black famous?
Yeah.
yeah.
I would consider Jack A Black famous as well, but Jack A, comedic actress, very funny, very beautiful. We know her from 227 when she kind of started out. And so I think Sister Sister kind of helped do a resurgence in her career. But Lisa was an entrepreneur. She was a seamstress trying to build her own business. And I really loved that for her. She had a lot of spunk and fire. She was humorous. She had an edge to her. She also was like youthful enough in the show to still be dating, which I like and appreciate. So I also like that she was, I would say she's probably the closest to a cool mom that we probably ever get. She, for her to be a woman in the 90s who was able as a single woman to adopt a child, is kind of miraculous. And then for that child to find a long lost twin and then work together to try to build, this kind of blended family and be a mom figure to both girls, I think was really meaningful. But she was funny. One of the things that I hate that they did on the show was really make Lisa's weight a real personality trait. Jack A was not big, but like her eating. I remember there was a time where she put a chicken wing on
They
the
did. They
she put a
did.
chicken wing on like the little spinning spool of thread that's on the sewing machine.
I
And
remember
I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like they didn't have to make that such a focus of her character or personality. But even with that, I thought Jack A was beautiful. She was always done up. She gave the girls good advice. She still had a lot of spunk and fire. She would roast Ray, rightfully so. And I liked that. I liked the feistiness and the realness that she brought in what was like a very strange situation. So yeah. All right, y'all have any thoughts on Sister Sister or Lisa?
That was a classic show growing up too, so I could see that.
She just wasn't my fave. I don't know. She was
It's probably like
alright.
an honorable mention for me. That was one of the, like you said, the shows that we all grew up on. So So we're gonna give Lisa her props. We'll take that one.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think for that show, my I more so was interested in like the twins and like Roger and then their like dynamics. I actually like that show more once they straightened their hair.
Hmm.
When
So
they got older, it got better.
here's what I will say. I don't necessarily disagree with you on the show getting better as they aged. One of the things that I am realizing is that watching a show when you're younger and older really changes your perspective. Because like when I was younger watching Soul Food, I identified with Ahmad. Watching Soul Food as an adult, I identify more with Terry. So I think if you were to rewatch Sister Sister as an adult, you're actually closer to Lisa's age than the twins. And so like maybe you pay more attention to the parents now than, the younger people that the show is focused on. But yeah,
Hmm.
I really liked Lisa. I thought she was fabulous. So all right. Calvin, what is your number four pick?
My number four pick is Harriet Winslow from Family Matters.
All right.
To me, she was just it was an iconic show, and she was just like the matriarchy for that family. Kind of helped keep everybody level-headed, kept everybody together. They had three kids: Eddie, Laura, and I think Judy. And then Laura was the love interest of Steve Urkel, if people haven't seen it. And she just had to kind of overcome all of the shenanigans with Steve and still keep everybody kind of sane, if you will. So to me, she played a great role as a TV mom.
Yeah, I
Well, we'll
love
say they had 2.5 kids because Judy disappeared in whatever
Duty.
season, and
She
nobody
kind of did.
thought about Judy. She went upstairs and never came back down. She was on Sonic for a long time.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I will say I do like that pick. I can only imagine what it would be like being the wife of a black police officer in the
Yeah,
90s.
Hmm.
yeah.
Like I can only imagine how hard because I in my mind I'm like y'all gotta be getting they didn't show this in the show but I'm like you gotta be getting hate from the black people and you getting discriminated against at your job, and then him having to come home and deal with Steve Urkel of all
Right?
people, and yeah. So good, kudos to Harry. And then I will say, that's one of the shows where they did show a lot of romance between the two,
The
um,
parents.
the
Yeah.
parents,
Hmm.
and I did appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
I
also,
appreciate that
Harriet
too.
held her own. She was working too. So yeah, like not just
Yeah,
a
she was
stay-at-home
an elevator
mom.
operator. Or
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Harriet
So
is actually
I
the
don't know if
reason the
y'all
show came to
seen
be.
this. Oh yeah,
oh,
I was gonna say I don't know if y'all seen this, but a lot of the shows on the socials now they're doing updated like if it happened today. So if that show happened today, they would be our age, and yeah, have all three of them kids and uh whatnot. Based
Ew.
on when the show came out and how old they were, I think they would have been like 35, 34, 35, 36, something like that. So they would have been our age. So imagine having two and a half, three kids and living that life.
Yeah.
Food for
And
thought.
the
I
house
don't
was
know.
multi-generational too, because there's the
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Carl's mom lived with them, the sister lived with him, and her child. There was a lot going on in that house, and for all of them to be working, and they lived in Chicago. They lived in a nice house. I think they were a good middle class family. Like we think about Good Times, Poor in the Projects. We got Family Matters. We're middle class Chicago, and then Cosby Show.
The
We're
Huxtables.
more upper class. So I think they were good middle class representation. Harriet was played by Joe Marie Payton, who also gets a shout out as the voice of Sugar Mama on Proud Family. So always
Good,
liked
good call
Harriet.
out.
I think that was a good pick. All right, y'all. Well, let's move on to our number three picks. Calvin, will have you pick up here. What's your number three pick?
All right. This one might be a little controversial, but I'm gonna go with Janice Byers from Stranger Things. If you don't know, that is
Oh,
Will's mom, And I like her because she never gave up on Will. Will got abducted into an alternate universe and was gone for like 2 weeks. He even had a funeral, and she was like, "No, that's not my son." People tried to gaslight her. "Oh yeah, no, we found his body. He's dead." She's like, "No, Will is still alive. I'm gonna go get my child." And she went and got Will back. Like she went through any means necessary, and she went and got Will back. So Janice was my number three.
I don't think that's controversial at all. I think that's a good modern pick.
I can say that
Okay.
I've met Stranger Things, so I don't.
I've never watched the show, so
Spoiler alert.
Sorry.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
that's
It's
fine.
okay.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Isn't it like 8 or 9 seasons?
No,
It's like 8 seasons.
closer
No,
to
it's 8 seasons.
no, it's
Oh,
closer to
okay.
like 5 or 6, right?
Oh,
I
Okay,
really
yeah.
technically
I'm
5.
not gonna.
But it's just spread out over so many years. It feels longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, they
It's
were trying to
okay.
gaslight her. There was a whole kind of a government operation to convince her that her son had passed away. And she went and found her son, who was still alive, but forever different. And she rode with him till the wheels fell off 5 seasons later. So I like that pick because I actually know what you're talking about. Cool. All right. All right, John, let's talk about your number 3.
Okay, so mine was Jay from My Wife and Kids, and I put her as number three because I feel like we said earlier, she was like a relatable kind of modern type of mom. The antics between her and Michael, the way that they showed that they are a black family that love each other, um, and just all the shenanigans between everything that went on. I think that she brought some of that same kind of charisma and spunk and shenanigans that we love Gina for, but she remixed it to bring it to a new character into a new situation. So, um, Emma, what is her name? Lord, I'm drawing a blank. I want to call her Tina Arnold, but I know that's not her
Tisha
name. What
Campbell.
is
Tisha Campbell.
Tisha Campbell? Thank you. Yeah, I think that Tisha Campbell is an iconic actress, and yeah, I think that she showed that, as we said earlier, she was a career mom. She went back to school. I think she got her doctorate or something like that, or master's or something like that. So it just showed that the different um, way that families can operate, and that the woman can still pursue her own things and still hold down the house and all of the above. And then they were just funny though. The
Uh
whole
huh.
family was just funny.
I really enjoyed that show, and I enjoyed her as Jay.
I did too. I think that was a good pick, John.
Yeah, and she, even though she had to be kind of like the anchor because of how silly Damon is, she also had her
Hmm.
silly moments that I really enjoyed. And she tells the story about
Oh,
how she
definitely.
got that role where she had to kind of con her way into the auditions.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Because
that.
I think it was Tashina who might have been up for the role. Yeah, but yeah, she managed to get it. I think she did a great job.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else could have done that but her. It's just it fit her so well.
That's actually one of the black sitcoms I didn't watch that well. Like I've seen a few
Really?
episodes here and there, but I never sat there and watched My Wife and Kids.
Mm.
I feel like I rewatched it like in the past 5 years or something. It's
Uh-huh.
still very funny, still very silly. I don't like that they replaced one of the daughters, so that's another one of the shows that were replaced.
I mean, but does it count? That happened like first season, the first few episodes, and then we just forgot about her.
The problem is they went from dark skinned black girl
Dark to
to
light.
Oh yeah, they went to the girl with the little curly hair. Yeah, yeah.
and she's not the best
But
actress.
we forgot. She's a what?
I said and she's not the best actress.
Oh, well,
No,
she
she's
played
not.
stupid, so it worked out.
Oh my god.
She wasn't. She wasn't a good actress at all.
So yeah,
You talking about the dark skinned one or the light skinned one?
no,
The
the
light
light
skinned
skin one.
one.
Oh, well, yeah, she played a ditzy dumb whatever. So I mean,
But
And
it worked out.
honestly, we don't know if the dark skinned girl was a good actress because she wasn't there long enough.
I
See,
want to say she's been in
there
other
you go.
stuff before, so like we knew her from prior things.
I mean, I don't feel like the dark skinned girl was only there for the pilot, and then after that they got rid of her.
I
No,
I
think
feel like
she
I've
was there
heard the
for more
story of why she
seasons.
got replaced, but I don't really remember. She was.
I think she was there, not more seasons, more episodes. I don't think it was just the
Hmm.
pilot. Yeah. Okay. All right, Kaitlyn, what's your number 3 pick?
Okay, well, I'm going to jump forward a few decades and we're going to go with somebody super modern. I'm going to pick Miss Athena Grant from 911.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I forgot about her.
I like that.
Yes, yes, because Athena is a solid rock star cop with 2 children, a husband who left her, who decided all of a sudden he was gay, married a white man, lost her husband, spoiler alert, and and
Not Bobby.
she is still raising children who are actively trying to become productive members of society. Shout out May and the little boy who I forgot his name.
I don't remember his name either.
Yes, but he's, if you're current, he's basically joined the firemen, and May is out there still helping people save lives at the call center and such. So Athena raised 2 kids going through all that trauma and still is the best cop on Los Angeles streets.
Reach.
Okay.
Props to Athena Grant. Proud of her. Because she
And-
definitely could have broke down and said, forget all this.
Yeah. Well, she is
Right.
played by Angela Bassett, so we will expect nothing less.
The Angela Bassett.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't watched that show in a while. It's a little too ridiculous for me now. I was not aware
It is.
of what
She
happened
used to
to
be watching
Bobby.
911, 911 Texas.
I like the Texas
What was the
one.
other ones?
Those were the only 2.
They're up to 911 Nashville because 911 Austin has gotten canceled.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
So yeah,
geez.
she was on it. Don't let her fool y'all.
I didn't say I wasn't. I watched it, and now it's too ridiculous. So I actually,
Oh yeah, once Bobby goes, it's
I didn't know
she's
Bobby
carrying
was
that
gone.
show. No, yeah.
I didn't know that either.
No, had no idea.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
Yeah.
alert.
That's a big spoiler.
That is
Yes.
a big spoiler.
The thing that makes me think of Athena as mom or great mom was there was a point where the boy was kidnapped, and she went after the man that kidnapped
Yes.
her son. That's the biggest kind of mom moment for me, for Athena. But
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even to the point where she, even, I don't know if you know, her backstory, but she had, a prior love or a prior husband before the father of her kids. And there was, a thing where she went after it
Yes.
to close that case.
in her
So
hometown.
she definitely is one of those, will defend the people I love even after they're gone.
Yeah, totally agree. Okay. All right. I'll let you all know my number 3. We have had this person on at least 2 other lists. Florida Evans from Good
Hey.
Times, of course, played by Esther Roll.
Damn.
So yeah, we already talked about it quite a bit. The big mama energy, raising 3 different kids with different needs, and probably different levels of neurotypicalness. And they were scratching.
Definitely.
scratching and surviving. They was holding the family together.
Hanging in the jive.
And I think that Florida Evans, like you said, was a mom of her time. And I think without Florida Evans, we don't get Harriet Winslow or Claire Huxtable. I think that she laid a lot of groundwork in a difficult time. Not that it has ever been a cakewalk for Black people, but in a very difficult time for Black women in entertainment. We think about Esther Roll. She is not your conventionally attractive woman. She wears her hair in an afro and a natural hairstyle, which almost no TV moms do. Esther
Rainbow Johnson.
And she was reflective, and she kept her family poor apparently, but at least they were safe. And she's one of the only TV moms I know of who actually lost her spouse on the show, minus the spoiler I just got now. So
oh well, I was about to say but the bigger one I think was maybe Roseanne, because losing Dan was a big thing.
Did he die on the show?
Still alive?
Because he's on the reboot.
When the Connors.
I thought it was all a book and Dan had actually died.
I mean, I never watched Roseanne, but yeah,
maybe I'm lying. I don't know, but I could have sworn like the plot twist of that show was that it was all Roseanne's like writing, and Dan had really died prior to.
That sounds like a conspiracy theory.
I never watched Roseanne.
I don't know. We'll have to fact check me in the comments, podcasters, because I feel
my source.
Because I really have like a feeling like it was some type of weird plot twist, and Dan was really not alive. So yeah, y'all fact check me on that.
Yeah, that's interesting because the Connors, the reboot, he definitely was alive.
He's in the reboot. Exactly. And that's why it's so weird to me.
Okay, I just looked it up. It says that, no, Dan does not die in Roseanne. While the original 1997 series finale revealed that Dan had suffered a fatal heart attack at Darlene and David's wedding, and the entire season finale was just a fictitious book Roseanne was writing. The twist was... What? In the something revival. So yeah, he ain't died, basically. Basically what you're saying, about the book. Dan just had a heart attack.
It sounds like he died in the show, but it turns out his death was actually a story.
Basically.
No, it sounds like a cop-out to bring him back.
That's really totally possible.
I mean, yeah, because they had to get rid of Roseanne, so...
because
after the show already came back.
Yeah, because I was like, I feel like in the original one, Dan died, and she wrote, like, the last, like, episodes or whatever were, like kind of like a dream sequence that she wrote up, that he wasn't dead. Because I definitely watched that show through and through, because she's one of my favorite TV moms that's not Black.
I never really watched Roseanne.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I watched that show all the way through. So that's why I'm like, I'm pretty sure.
But I will say they came across as a more realistic white family.
Oh, absolutely. They were a mess.
one of my favorite lines is somebody came into her house, Roseanne's house, and she was like, "Sorry for the mess. We live here." I just thought that was so funny.
That's so real.
That's very real.
Yeah. So, okay. All right, cool. All right, y'all, let's move on to our number 2 picks. I'll go first. My number 2 pick are light skin and dark skin Aunt Viv from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'm putting them together. In one pick. And I know people have had a conversation forever about light skin Aunt Viv versus dark skin Aunt Viv, but I think that they each brought something different to the show. and that they both did it well. They are both, educated college professors. They are both fierce and loving. They're both beautiful. They know how to give motherly advice. They know how to be kind versus Uncle Phil's more stern attitude towards parenting. And I appreciated what each actress did with the role. And so for me, they're more of a package deal. I think both of them did almost the exact same amount of episodes on the show. So even as far as duration, neither one of them actually outshined or outmatched the other, really. So let's see. Aunt Viv, the first one, was Janet Hubert. And then second Aunt Viv, I can't remember her name, but she was married to the actor who played Ray on Sister.
Tim Reed.
Yes.
I was about to say that. Fun fact.
Interesting.
In my mind, I want to call her Carla Reed, but I know Carla ain't her name. I don't know what her name.
Oh, Daphne Maxwell. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Daphne Maxwell Reed. There we go.
There you go. Boom.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good pick. I had them on my honorable mention list as well. So yeah, I kind of TV moms.
Not bad, not bad.
I have a question.
I think.
Yeah, I don't really. I have a comment rather. I think it's interesting that you brought up the juxtaposition between the dark skin and light skin Aunt Viv, but nobody brought up the same situation with who said that? Calvin with the Lord, I'm drawing a blank. Family Matters, the dark skin
Harriet.
Family Matters. Harry, yeah, and the light skin because they replaced Joe Marie at some point too. But I guess
It was
the
towards
dark
the
skin
end of the
was
season, like going
yeah.
towards the end of it, though. Yeah.
Oh, I barely knew that.
I didn't know that at all. I don't remember Harriet.
I almost forgot that she was.
See, that's how almost irrelevant the other one was.
Yeah.
Because I think it was towards like the end after everybody had grown up. But yeah, they definitely did replace her.
Yeah, they did.
The only comment I have about dark skin, I don't remember light skinned Aunt Viv doing anything like spectacular in her episodes. Like she was just a background character versus I remember dark skinned Aunt Viv had like
a more active
episodes.
Role. Yeah.
Yeah, like she like the dance role and like, like and just she was just a stronger presence, I think, in the show versus the other one, and that's why people that's why people think dark skinned Aunt Viv is better because they just gave her more. They gave her more to do than just to be a just mom in the background.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Go ahead.
Ushered in like the storyline of them having Nikki, because that was towards the end. I don't know. I think that's about all she did. She had the baby and that whole thing of it all, or she was there for when Trevor died. Hillary, whatever the news reporter was married to Hillary, so she was there for all of that. But like.
No, for real. Because I was like, didn't he die jumping out of a plane?
Right.
No bungee jumping, I think.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Something crazy nonetheless.
I agree that the first Aunt Viv had a more active role and had like actual B stories that were about her and that type of stuff. I think that after Janet Hubert left, in order to prevent the same thing from happening, they scaled back how much they used Aunt Viv. So I don't want to attribute that more so to like the writing and less to the actress herself.
Definitely. It's not the actress. It's just the character that is Aunt Viv became irrelevant afterward. Like I don't think it would have made a difference if she was gone or not.
Yeah, she came at the beginning of season 4, so she was only there for 2 seasons because it was 6 seasons.
No,
so
4, 5, and 6. That's 3 seasons.
Oh, you're right. You know how to do math.
Okay.
No, because they were literally almost in exactly the same amount of episodes. So I do say the first Aunt Viv was more active and in the front and had elements to her personality that felt outside of the family. And I think when the
Mm-hmm.
writing changed, light skin on Viv came in and did the best that she could do with what they gave her at the time, still showing up and being supportive and still being, college professor mom and just doing it in a way that felt different. But
Yeah. I just felt like it's a good idea to lump them together as one mom because you still have the memory that she did all those things. And even if they're not showing it later on, she still had an outside life. She still had perks to herself, talents other than just, family mama.
So how do we feel in comparison that because I'm looking at her name now, Cassandra Freeman, she played on the in Bel Air. How do you feel like her role in the remake of that show compares to the OG's role in that show?
I didn't watch Bel
Or
Air.
did anybody not watch the remake?
I haven't seen the
I
remake at
didn't watch the
all.
remake either.
Well, the remake, it's really good. It's a more modern twist on that story, but that version, the new version of Aunt Viv, she's an artist and she ends up becoming she gets, I think it's called the Neiman Fellowship. So she becomes this really big art critic and does like that, but it also deals with her trying to have a family and also following her career because for the longest amount of time she was just Philip in his career was first, but then her career started to make a resurgence, and so it became a whole thing. But it's a really good show. I would go back and rewatch it. What Bel Air lasted for 4 seasons, but it was a really good show.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, Calvin, let's move on to your number two. Who's your number two mom?
My number two mom is Wendy Bird from Ozark. Wendy had to manage their family getting in bed with the Mexican drug cartel and had to try to overcome their ties there by helping them get an actual casino in the Ozarks to help them have legitimate cash money. And in the midst of doing all that, she had to bribe politicians. She had to try to raise a family, try to help teach her kids how what they're doing was not right. So Wendy had a lot to do, and there was a lot of dynamics going on. And she knew that, hey, this isn't the right way to do it, but we're gonna make the best out of the bad situation. So my hats off to Wendy Bird from the Ozarks.
I love that we're getting some criminal moms in here. Um,
Right? They make the
everybody,
world go round.
yeah, everybody can't be Florida Evans and Claire Huxtable. So, I never watched
Mhm.
Ozark. I, I,
Yeah.
I
Me
generally
either.
can't get into the
Can you give us
cartel
like a
stuff.
brief
But I will
synopsis? What is
say,
Ozark even about?
Sure.
anybody who could be married to Jason Bateman ass.
What's wrong with Jason
Listen.
Bateman?
Um, so Jason Bateman was an accountant, and the Mexican drug cartel needed somebody to help them launder their money. And they came across him because he helped uncover like somebody else, their previous account was stealing money. He knew how to move it in different accounts. And they were like, hey, our money's coming up short. They did an audit and they used Jason Bateman to do the audit. And he found out, yeah, your accountant's moving money in different accounts. And he's pretty clever about it. So they killed the other accountant and they're like, all right, great, you're going to take over. And it's really like we're not asking, we're telling. And
Oh.
so
Yeah.
he kind of gets appointed as the Mexican drug cartel accountant, and they relocate him to the Ozarks because they have a stronghold there. It's pretty off the radar, so not a lot of activity going on, and they have to start legitimate businesses and launder like almost millions of dollars in drug money. And so the easiest way to do that was to get a license for a casino. And throughout doing all of that, they had to kill people, they got to bribe people, they got to fight off the locals because the locals are like meth heads and they don't want them stepping on their territory. That show's a mess, but it's really entertaining.
Yeah, the few like things I know about it because Thomas watched it, and like the things I do know about it, it's definitely a good show. I just haven't sat down to watch it. But Jason Bateman is probably one of my favorite white man actors. I usually watch everything he's in because it's just his sense of humor and like. How does he always find himself? He's like a Scooby-Doo character. Like, how are you finding yourselves in these situations?
Oh yeah, no, it's 100% worth the watch if you're into that kind of Breaking Bad meets the drug cartel meets
if you like Breaking Bad,
family.
this is right up your alley.
Yeah. So definitely worth the watch if you're into that.
Yeah, I could never get into drug cartel stuff. I'm just like, who cares? But sounds like she was out here working for her family after her husband got them into some mess. So she was rolling with the punches.
So she tried to right the ship as best she could.
Right. Rolling with the punches. Yeah. Okay. All right, John, who's your number 2 pick?
Okay, I had to go with the one we already said, Rochelle. Everybody hates Chris. For the sense of just her being iconic and I don't need this. My husband has 2 jobs. Rochelle would quit a job every other day just because Julius had 2 jobs. The same with Cornelius. Rochelle, maybe if you kept the job, you could help y'all family out a little bit instead of quitting your job when somebody pissed you off. But I mean, she just, I don't know. And what else? She definitely tried to keep the family together. Anytime something would happen, I remember the one episode where the whole family had to go on a diet because she tried to squeeze into Drew's pants. And man, when she found out, I've been doing all this just to fit into your jeans. So yeah, she was funny. She was relatable. She was stern when she needed to be. Yeah, she tried to keep the family together, especially the one episode when her and Julius got into a fight about the finances and he wondering why you ain't paying the bills on time when I gave you the money. And she had to show, I think she did that a lot. She had to show people the hard way. Okay, fine. You want to do it your way? Then go ahead. It's going to end up being
did that a lot.
My way in the end. I'm going to let you do whatever you want to do. But in the end, we're going to do this my way because I know best. But I'm not going to explain to you why we do it. Because in that argument about the finances, all she had to do was explain to Julius what she did in the end instead of like, fine, you questioning how I'm running this house, then you do it yourself. Girl, you just have to tell them what you was doing.
Man. It's just like the episode where like she was like, I want to go out. And Julius is all like, we get $20 to get in. We can do this we can dance at home. And she's like, she gets so mad. She basically because she was like, oh, well, he's like, he said something along the lines like, well, you know, if you want $20, like maybe you should go get a job. And that pissed her off so bad. So she was like, okay, Julius. And she just didn't give him no food. Like she cooked for the kids. And he comes in the kitchen he's like, where's my food? Well, the kids are having chicken. She's like, maybe you can go take some of your money from your job and go buy you some food. I was like, oh my God.
She did the same thing to Chris. She was mad about something, and he was like trying to cook. She said, you trying to use my food that I cook? Chris was like, I bought it. But that's my pot, and that's my electricity.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. She had an answer for everything, boy.
Yes. She demanded respect. Yes. She demanded respect. We love Rochelle. And
yes.
Tashina. Yes. Okay. All right, Kaitlyn, who's your number 2 pick?
All right. Well, I'm gonna bring back the modernity. So my number 2 is gonna be none other than Beth Pearson from what is the show called?
This Is Us.
This Is Us.
This Is Us. Yes.
Played by Mandy Moore. Randall's wife. So
Randall's
not the mom.
Wife.
Yes.
Not the mom.
Our favorite couple
there we go.
on the show.
Not the mom. Yes. Even though Rebecca Pearson I thought she was fine, but Beth had her beat, hands down. You know.
Well, Rebecca was problematic, but
yes.
you still love her.
Beth gave no problems from the time they introduced us to Beth. till the end of that show. Beth was an exemplary, not whatever. She was the best wife and mom on that show. She had to deal, if you haven't watched This Is Us, Beth was Randall's longtime sweetheart. And if you don't know, Randall did struggle with anxiety problems, anxiety attacks, and also his like real like challenges of growing up in a white family and, you know, trying to figure out like who his biological parents and everybody was. Also, them randomly adopting, what was her name? DJ? Or Deja. Yeah. So adopting Deja into their home, having to deal with Deja's personal issues from being adopted, and also raising their own two girls who, towards the later seasons, they got a little bit more sassy. So she had to be a little bit more like stern about, you know, how she parented, all while being, you know, Randall's supportive wife. And then also, again, I love when moms have their own thing. She uprooted them. They went to a whole nother city and she opened up a dance studio.
Well, they did that because of Randall, didn't they? And she like was going
yeah. He went to do whatever he wanted to run for some type of thing.
Councilman or something.
But I'm glad she didn't just stay like in a background role. She tried to also like open her own business while also supporting her family. But anyway, Beth never stepped, faltered. She was great Black TV mom.
That was a great choice.
That's a good pick.
Even though I haven't finished watching that show, and I plan to finish watching it eventually because I just found out it was on Tubi. But yeah, it's still a good show.
Beth is great. Go ahead, Beth Pearson.
Yeah, I agree with you. When you first said Pearson, I was like, oh my gosh, not Mandy Moore. Rebecca. But no, the actress who plays Beth is Susan Kalichi Watson. And I've only seen her in a few things, but she does a great job. She holds down Randall. She makes him accountable. And she is a sane Black partner for him as he grew up in a, you know, white family. And she's super supportive when he wanted to go and find his estranged, you know, father. And yeah, the kids acting a fool and finding themselves in their own identity, and then her starting at school. I totally agree with you. I also watched This Is Us, and I'm almost regretful that I watched it all the way through because I should have stopped.
Why?
That family is annoying. What? That family is annoying.
Oh
now, I'm not saying that I wasn't moved by the show. There were moments where I was crying. There were, but everything is a symbol. Everything means something. And Kate, I hated her. Toby, eventually I hated him. Rebecca, hated her always. The dad was the dad and his brother. The dad was a freaking alcoholic, and they only like mildly talked about that. What's his name?
Yeah.
Yes. Right. You didn't even know because they glaze over because he's a freaking
They
man.
glaze him. They glaze him.
Yes, they glaze him, and I'm just like.
Wait, when did he become an alcoholic?
He'd been an alcoholic for a long time and he was hiding it.
Not Jack?
Yes. He was drinking that Jack.
He was hiding it.
Oh my God.
So
Jack was a good family man.
That's because they glazed him.
Right. Because he was such an involved parent, you know, we overlooked the Jack and Coke and peppermints and, you know, staying out drinking and all that judge and all that stuff.
Where was Jack doing all of this? Where was I?
Yeah.
But I can totally agree. That's why I said, like, that show was really good because even if you didn't like all of the family members, you could find a family member in their storyline that you really appreciated. Like, I love that they didn't give the Black couple all this supreme chaos like they gave Kevin and Kate. because I just felt like their storylines were so, I don't know. I felt like Kevin really could never get it together. Even in the end, I don't think he ever got it really 100% together, and he was annoying. And I think Kate maybe finally, I feel like she stumbled a lot, and she finally was like lucky enough to catch her footing again at the end. But
she was annoying the whole way.
She was. The whole thing with Kate was her insecurities about her dad and, her weight and all this other stuff. So, but besides them, I think, look, that's why Beth, Earl, you were the only solid person in this entire family who did not have chaos, did not have drama. And as she would always tell, the little Spanish man that Rebecca married, we are just the outsiders of the Pearson chaos. Yes.
Oh, Lord. I thought about rewatching this. Each season has 18 episodes. So I don't know if I'm committed to rewatching this series. So,
what might make you actually like to watch it is because they did do a podcast of them rewatching it. So maybe if you you might catch it might catch your attention again if you listen to the podcast of the cast talking about each episode.
I'm gonna have to figure out where I left off at. I think I got lost when COVID happened. I think that's when I got lost, and I just, as most shows, never picked back up. So I'll probably have to go back to when that happened and get back into it, because I still don't know how it ended. So I need to figure that out.
All right. Well, I spent the show mostly annoyed, so I won't. I think I watched to the end just so I could see Rebecca's demise. But anyways,
It's so horrible.
God. Okay.
Oh God. Okay.
All right. Kaitlyn, do we have your number 2? We do. You just said it. Okay.
That was my number 2. Mm-hmm.
Right. So now we're down to number 1, y'all. Kaitlyn, tell us your number 1 pick.
Well, none of these were in any particular order, but this is the most recent show that I've watched with a Black mom. It is called Forever. It is on Netflix right now. It is a modern day Black love story between 2 teenagers. It is actually phenomenally good. The character that I love the best on there, her name is Mia Edwards. She is the mom to the main protagonist boy. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but their family dynamic is very interesting. The boy is obviously on some type of spectrum. They are very much so upper middle class in Los Angeles. The dad is a super successful chef. She went to an Ivy League school, and they're raising 2 very privileged boys. And even though the main protagonist's son has some maybe form of autism, he's very much so privileged to be doing all the things that he's doing. And the story goes, he meets this girl from basically Compton, who's from a single mom background, but she's very smart, very talented, trying to basically make her way in the world and be a come up. But there is a lot of little background stuff with her that's making the little love pairing a problem. Either way, the mom of the main protagonist and the other mom, I just picked the boy's mom because I relate to her more, is that she's very much so supportive of her kids. She's super involved in their success because she knows, I know you have to drive children to success. You have to move them towards the goalpost that will set them up in later in life. You can't just let them lollygag. You have to stay on them, especially if you don't have a self-driven, self-directed child. And then, she tries to get them to go the route that she went. And that's why they're in the position that they're in, living in a mansion in Los Angeles, because she's like, hey, this way works. And I want you to follow this way, which, of course, that's always a conflict between kids and parents. But She's a great example. If you have not watched that show, please watch the show. They're filming season 2 right now. All black cast. The main person that I know from it is what's that black man's name? Is called Wood Harris. Wood Harris plays her husband in the show. That's the only like name that might sound familiar to y'all. But
I'm on the
show,
IMDb now. You called her Mia. Is her name Dawn?
Oh, is it Dawn Edwards or whatever? Is it Dawn?
Yeah. Because I was looking
in
it
the
up.
show.
But she's played by Karen Pittman. I've seen her before, but I can't place her. But
she's a phenomenal mom. And I picked her mostly because the decisions and the things that she does in that show would be the same decision making I would be going through if that was my child. For sure.
Oh, she was in The Morning Show. That's where I know her from. The black lady from The Morning Show. I don't know, did any of you watch that on Apple?
Mm-hmm.
She was like a TV show producer on The Morning Show. And her name was Mia in The Morning Show. Which is
oh, that's weird. Okay.
That is weird. I have never heard of Forever. I might check it out. But it's good we have a modern mom on the list. Okay. All right. I'm going to go next. Unless y'all have anything to say about those picks. Have either of you watched or heard of Forever?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
Yep. Me either.
It's only like 6 or 7 episodes. It's a really quick watch. You can watch it in one day.
Okay. Cool. I have to check it out.
Netflix fan. That's not gonna happen. So. But I'm thinking about it though, because You was about to come out, so I might get Netflix just so I can watch You.
I thought it was over.
No, the final season is coming
Oh, I thought it ended.
sometime soon.
Okay.
Joe is still at his antics. He'll be back soon. Don't count him out yet.
I never watched it. I don't like shows that are from the perspective of the villain. Okay, my number one pick, y'all, is one we have clearly mentioned before. Claire Huxtable from The Cosby Show, played by Felicia Rashad. We know the stuff that was kind of going on in The Cosby Show in the background, which is so unfortunate. I hate that was going on and nobody ever talked about it. But if we take the show and kind of separate it from all of the stuff that was happening, Claire Huxtable was like penultimate TV mom, and was pretty groundbreaking. Black families on TV shows were depicted often as like struggling and impoverished. And in this show, we have 2 professional parents. Claire was a lawyer. She was also fun. Her kids really enjoyed her. And even more so than her husband, she was a fierce disciplinarian. When old girl went to see The Wretched, which one of them?
Fun, huh?
Yeah, you want to have big fun with The Wretched? Vanessa. When Vanessa went to go see The Wretched, she was on her. And there was another episode where Lisa Bonet's character wanted a car and she was being like a brat about it. And because she had some money saved up, but her parents didn't want her to have a car that soon. And she was like, look, if you keep this up, you can take all the money you ever made and go discover America.
My God.
She was fun, but her children actually really loved her a lot. She was actually pregnant on the show. There was a season where they had to
remember that.
Putting stuff in front of her so that she didn't look pregnant. And if you're not paying attention, you won't notice it. But overall, Felicia Rashad is, icon.
Iconic.
She's a singer, a dancer. Her and her sister are super talented. And have been entertaining us for years. So I really liked Claire, of course, for all of those reasons. And she's my number one.
Claire. Loved The Cosby Show. Love.
Yep. For sure. All right, Calvin, who is your number one pick?
My number one pick is Dee Mitchell from Moesha. Not ranked in any particular order, but I really enjoyed her character on that show. Moesha was Frank's child from a previous relationship, and she ended up coming to stay with him. So Dee is now a stepmom who has to actually parent, a teenager, and I think she does a good job. She does it gracefully. She's not mean or manipulative. She's humble. She's trying to help guide Moesha and show her, the right steps. And it's a fluid, relationship. So it's there's give and take. But I think her character Dee came from a good place, and so I really enjoyed her in that show.
I think that's a decent pick. Dee is played by Cheryl Lee Ralph, iconic
Yep.
black
Also at Abbott
actress.
Elementary, she does
I
a
was
good
about to
job
say
with.
that was one of my honorable mention moms was
Yes.
Barb. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbara Howard in Abbott Elementary. She was also one of the original Dream Girls. She played Dina. So has been in entertainment for a very long time. I recently kind of rewatched Moesha for a review that we did back in Black History Month, and Dee wasn't on my list, but I understand why she's on yours. I think that she managed the stepmom thing very interestingly, because there was a time period where Moesha was kind of like the mom in the house taking care of her dad and her brother, and there was like some tension there. So I like that they were very realistic about how blending families can actually be challenging. And I think they ended up having a lot of respect for each other at the end, Moesha and Dee. So I think that's a good pick.
All right. What you got for us, John?
Yeah, mine was Claire Huxtable for my final one, and I don't know, for whatever reason, she reminds me of my grandma, so that's kind of why she was my number one. Um, just the matriarch of the family, and she was very strong when she needed to be, as well as just kind of held the family together, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, she reminds me of my grandma. So that's why she was my number one. And she's, I think, the most iconic black TV mom that there is. So why not put her at number one?
Yeah. Heck yeah, we love Claire Huxtable. She was fabulous and very fun, but also very stern when she needed to be. So yeah,
Right.
I appreciate that. All right, y'all. So we made our way through our top five. It looks like we had three overlapping TV moms. Rochelle Rock made a couple of lists. Florida Evans made multiple lists, and so did Claire Huxtable. So I think that's all of the overlap that we had. So nice.
Ooh, I do have a couple honorables.
Yeah, that's where we're moving to next. Let's give some flowers to the honorable mentions who didn't quite make the list but deserve a mention. Kaitlyn, since you brought it up, you go first. Who are some of your honorable mentions?
Yes. Honorable mention is gonna go to Rainbow Johnson from Blackish. Also gonna give a shout out to Dorothy Scott from The Gilded Age. If you have not watched that show, again, a great new iconic show. It is a period piece based on very new New York, early, maybe 1800s still, maybe like early 1900s, the Victorian era, if that makes sense. But yes, does gracefully show a middle class black family in that era. And if you know anything about the history of Oaks Bluff, yeah, go ahead and watch that. That was definitely a good show. And lastly, but not least, is yes, Barbara Howard from Abbott Elementary. She is everybody's mama over there at the elementary school, and she does her job amazing. I would definitely want my child in her class learning. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, nice. Okay, let's move on to Calvin. Calvin, what were some of your honorable mentions that didn't make the list?
My honorable mentions were Unvib. I packaged them together too. So we had before and after Unvib. And then also I had Reba from Reba McEntire
I loved
as another
Reba.
honorable mention.
A
So
single mom who works two jobs.
she was bailing them
Who
out of some
loves the
stuff.
kids and never stop?
So she was my honorable mention too, but I ended up going with my list, so she didn't quite make it.
Okay. All right. All right. Nice. And before we move on, can you remind people what your channel about your channel?
Yeah, Calvin the Collector for all of it. Actually, real quick, aside, I haven't been posting recently, so there are some videos for you to watch if you just enjoy some unboxings. But nothing new just yet. I might come up with something coming around the summertime, but we'll see. But yeah, Calvin the Collector. And yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, John, let us know some of your honorable mentions.
The one that I couldn't just now really thought about was Aunt Wanda from the Bernie Mac show because that was a great show. So we'll give
Oh,
her her
yeah.
honorable mentions. And then like I said, the new Alvio from Bel Air. And I think that's about it. I can't think of anybody else um that deserves a shout out at this present time. But shout out to all the TV moms and the real moms out there whose job is never done and very tirelessly. And shout out to the Reba song who loves their kids and never stops. So there you go.
Preach.
Go moms.
Yes.
Where will we be without you? Go
All
moms.
right.
Preach.
With gentle hands in the heart of a fighter. Yes. Okay.
Right. I'm a survivor.
All right. John, tell them a little bit about your channel before we get out of here.
Yeah, my channel, Conversation with John 9869 on the YouTubes. Yeah, it's just a collection of the random things that happen in my life and the random things that I like to talk about. Um, yeah, it's been a while since I posted, but there's a lot of things over there, so go check it out. It'll probably motivate me to get back to posting again, but life happens, so yeah, go check it out to motivate me to get back into the game.
Okay. All right, y'all. Yeah, check out their channels, and I'll close us out with my honorable mentions. Jill Taylor from Home Improvement. I actually really liked
Ooh, good
Jill.
one.
Um, I love her voice too. She has like this raspiness to her voice that I enjoyed. But for her not to go crazy in the same house as Tim the Toolman Taylor and three boys, she was also educated. I think she got a degree on the show or an advanced degree on the show. But I really liked Jill. I also have an honorable mention for Barbara Howard from Abbott Elementary, who is kind of a de facto mom for the for the whole crew. I also had an honorable mention for Jay from My Wife and Kids, and Harriet, which we mentioned earlier. And finally, a shout out to a mom that nobody has mentioned yet, Tasha Mack from The Game. I actually,
Hey!
I actually,
Hey!
I actually
Mama
really
Mac.
like
Yeah.
Tasha. Yeah.
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 She
I
did
Come on,
her
man,
big
school.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Not med school. But yeah, I liked Tasha Mack. She had a lot of spunk, and because she was a young mom, but she had her own career as a sports agent, and she also played kind of a motherly role to Tia Mowry's character, Melanie. So I enjoyed her. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions. Okay. Well, all right, y'all. That's a wrap on our Top 5 TV Moms episode. Thank you so much to Calvin, John, and Kaitlyn for coming through and getting into this discussion with me today. It was such a great conversation. Did y'all have a good time?
Had a great
This
time.
was fun.
Yes.
I never get to do these things. It's fun.
Yeah, Yeah, well, I'll be sure to invite y'all back. Now, for those of you who are new here, this is the Sub Media Reviews platform. We are officially in our off season for the podcast right now, but our podcast goal is to review old media that's at least 20 years old. It's TV, music, television, plenty of other things too. And we talk about whether or not they hold up today and if they're worth revisiting. So we'll be back with season 3 in October, but in the meantime, make sure you go and check out all those old episodes. We got almost 80 episodes of reviewing a whole bunch of old media. So I'm not disappearing on y'all. I'm just taking a little bit of a break, and we'll have a few little content thingies that'll pop up until we're back for season 3. So make sure you are subscribed so that you're getting notifications on when those things pop up. And speaking of content, if y'all come back next month, we're going to do a top 5 TV dads episode in honor of Father's Day. So kind of the same energy, but a different group of people, and you don't want to miss it. In the meantime, y'all have fun, get ready for the summer, watch those old episodes, and I will catch y'all next time. All right. I'm Kiara, and this is Sub Media Reviews Top 5. Peace out.